Perfect. Welcome everybody to Ropeadope TV, the last episode. We are here. We took a little break. We are here in the new space dubbed the Ropeadope Room.
Yes.
Fabian Brown.
Cool, smart.
Good to see you again. How was hiking in the Tibetan outback?
It was extraordinary.
I'll bet. Well, thank you for gracing us with your presence. Coming back to the Ropeadope Room. Here's the deal, folks. We moved, and we have a new space. Also in East Philadelphia, on the other side of the railroad tracks. We're finally back on the right side of the tracks.
Literally.
For our friends in the UK.
UK.
There you go. Welcome. We're trying to stay serious. It's been a long night of getting this video right in the new space, but it's a really wonderful space. We'll do a little tour at the end of this to show you what the new space looks like. And we're going to do live performances here. We're going to have interviews with not only Ropeadope artists, but we're going to have interviews with other artists. And we're going to talk about music. And bring you our particular take on it, and try to tell real stories and give you real information as often as we can.
It's awesome.
I do think that while we're still tweaking the knobs and fiddling with everything, I'm going to move that slightly to that side. And we'll say we ought to turn that music down just a little bit more. That's it. Yep, we're trying to bring you ambient sound and not do a lot of edits and bring it straight. So here we are, boom, at the end of 2017. And tonight's show, we want to talk about some of the amazing things that happened this year. And we'd love to, have a top 20 list. But with 70 records out this year, so we've narrowed it down to 4 each.
Yep.
We're going to start with Mr. Brown.
Man.
One of your top 4 on the list for this year was?
In no particular order.
In no particular order.
And this was an extremely hard thing to do because I love everything that we rolled out this year. But I'm going to go with Mr. Nate Smith for my first choice.
2 Grammy nominations.
Yes.
And you'll tell us why.
Yeah, I mean, again, as a drummer, the perception of drummers are, they play drums. They're not songwriters. They're not composers. They're not arrangers. But Nate Smith completely proved otherwise, with his album. And
you're expecting pyrotechnics and drumming chops,
which he has.
Of course.
Oh my goodness, which he has.
Yeah.
If you're not hip with Nate Smith, have you checked it out? Oh my goodness, it's nasty. But on the arranging side and the composition side, it's beautiful what he was able to do. So
I like that he tells a story. It's a story of his life, I presume.
Yep.
Traveling from Virginia to New York and beyond. Beautiful.
Yeah, serious album. One of my first, when I came on with Ropeadope, one of the first that I was getting my ears wrapped around the newer stuff. And, again, I'm like, wow, this is quality. In fact, I remember Jeremy Grinhart put a post of him just like drumming, doing a beat with a snare drum and a hi-hat and just murdering it. And
he does a regular live thing on Facebook. You get on his Facebook
Nate?
page and check it out. Yeah.
And so Jeremy had shared it on his Facebook wall. So I liked it. I'm like, comment, yeah, wait until, because the album wasn't out yet. I'm like, wait until you hear the album. He's like, what? This guy's on Ropeadope too. I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah, we've been blessed. A lot of people have come our way. We're not really sure how it all happens, but it's working great.
Magic. So back to you though. So give me one of the 4.
Well, we just ran through the 4 so I could remember them, and everyone has a U in it. I just want to say that right off the bat, and that's how I remember it. So I'm going to start with Yusef Komonyaka, David Sierri, and Mike Brown. This is a record that came out in the midsummer, late summer, early fall.
I think September 1.
It's David and Mike playing music and Yusef reciting poetry. It's a fascinating story. Yusef, his life story is intense, Vietnam War veteran. He was a journalist, I believe, in the Vietnam War, and also a poet. Pulitzer Prize-winning poet, right? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. It's a beautiful combination and blend of them, of Yusef reciting his poetry, and David and Mike playing along, and vice versa. So it doesn't really feel contrived in any way. It just feels like the three of them are playing jazz with a capital J, and just improvising all the way through. So I really enjoy that record. I don't fully understand it yet. I'm going to listen many more times.
Yeah, I appreciate how they, that particular album, you know, they used the full range of what the instrument was capable of doing. So it's not just playing the upright bass, but using the sounds of what the upright bass and what the piano, what all that can do. Sound effects, if you will, along with the poetry.
Right, and I can feel them interpreting. Like I kind of feel like nobody really understands the depth of what the other person is trying to express, and they're trying to interpret it on the spot in the moment. You know, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Number two.
Number two.
Not number two. No, in no particular order.
In no particular order. I'll talk about Christian Scott and the trilogy that came out this year.
Centennial Trilogy.
The Centennial Trilogy. Christian blessed us with 3 albums. You know, each unique, each had a different characteristic of it, and you know, above and beyond the music for me and how he interprets his idea of jazz is what he stands for and the message that he's portraying out to the world. It's, you know, he talks about, instead of focusing on people and their differences, focusing on what we all have in common, what's all similar. And I appreciate not just the music, but the message behind the music and what he's all about. I really do.
I do as well. I mean, it's genuine, and you feel it.
For sure.
And the records. We just put up a playlist on. You can do this now. So on Apple Music and on Spotify, you can just run through all 3 records. And they were 3 separate experiences, but they are 3 parts of one whole record. And you can buy the full thing on disc, but then you still have to change the discs. But on streaming now, you can just let it play from start to finish, and they are distinct and unique. And it kind of tells a story and finishes off nicely. All right, another you. The late, great Colonel Bruce Hampton, who we're listening to now. You know, I have a lot of personal connection to this. Colonel Bruce guides me and guides Ropeadope in telepathic ways, as we've discussed. But I have to say that, you know, it's a live record, and the recording is one of the best musical recordings I've heard in my life. Wow, the band is so tight. You know, if there were no crowd noise, you wouldn't know
That it was live.
You just wouldn't know. You would think that somebody had engineered this to be flawless and seamless. It's obviously a group of people who not only know their craft but know each other well on a level far beyond, you know, hi, how are you? You know, how's the family? On some sort of level that locks everything in. And that's a really unusual thing for a man who is known for being chaotic and out. There's a sense of focus on this record that I think a lot of Colonel Bruce fans might find surprising. Yeah, it's just concise.
Favorite Colonel Bruce quote?
Favorite Colonel? Well, I have a personal favorite Colonel Bruce quote, where he said something about my intent in the music business that I can't really share on camera. But I'll just say that he gave me permission to be me. And that is what drives most of what happens at Ropeadope. Favorite Colonel Bruce quote? I don't know. It's on this record, right? That's one of them. There's so many. Favorite Colonel Bruce quote. Man, we have to stop thinking about time now. I mean, you know, the only word that rhymes with orange.
I was going to say that. Nebraska.
That's a good one. Yeah, but I think you're queuing up. I mean, there's so many. I remember once I said to Colonel Bruce, I found Zambi on Facebook. He's got a Facebook page, but he has no friends. And he thought that was the most hilarious thing in the world. But I found out later that Facebook had just showed me Zambi's page and said 0 friends for some reason at that moment. And I thought that Zambi just had a Facebook page for himself. Right? And that was brilliant. I mean, there's ways to do it. Bruce used to, he knew when I was coming to Atlanta, and he would say, let's get together. And he would say, call me when you land. But you can't call somebody when they land at the Atlanta airport, when you land at the Atlanta airport. Because, I mean, there are hotels between you and the car rental place, right? It could take a while.
Right.
So I would wait, and then I would drive, and I can picture it right now, the ramp out of the Enterprise rent-a-car, driving down, and that's when Bruce would call. Or text. Usually a text that said the name of a restaurant. And he would say, you know, such and such at 123. And I would just go there, and we'd have lunch. He just knew it. Back to you.
Mr. Eddie Palmieri. The maestro. You know, I remember listening to his stuff as a kid and not really, you know, I'm a kid, you know, I'm playing around the house with my mom and everything, you know, and just getting that experience, you know, of salsa.
Puerto Rico is your heritage?
Puerto Rico, yes. My mother's from Ponce, and, you know, just getting that early exposure early on, and, you know, fast forward and finding out, you know, all these amazing people on the label, and then, you know, I remember when, you know, the talking was happening, is Eddie coming on, you know, what's going on, and, you know, meeting his family and sitting down, not here at the other spot, just being really excited, and I just remember just feeling this real family-oriented vibe, and it wasn't really talking about business, it was just talking about life and about people and the history and the heritage of what Mr. Palmieri did, and, you know, I just...
They wanted to make sure that we had the respect.
We had it, right? I mean...
And it's a given. I mean, it's impossible to disrespect Mr. Eddie Palmieri. Although, I mean, I'm sure somebody can do it. I mean, to me, it's impossible, right?
Yeah. You know, that album, you know, I think it's a great album, in my opinion, and one of the many that we have here that stuck out in 2017 for me.
Beautiful record. Back to me, and it's another you, and I have to remember... Wait, it's not Kurt Elling. Alright, I need a clue.
I knew, okay.
Some cue cards ago.
I don't know. Oh, clue. Savior.
I'd like to talk to you about Jesus. Jesus on the main line. Yes.
Love those guys.
Thank you for the hint. Andrew Measley and Tim Everett.
Yes.
Honestly, there are a lot of underrated records here at Ropeadope. I think that, you know, on a regular basis we face a dominant culture, a dominant, like, music, I don't know, Illuminati. Yeah, I don't want to say it that way. Just, you know, dominant culture tends to want to judge something in a quick second, and I think that Jesus on the Main Line's record, you know, everything here is a little bit different. It's a little bit different. It doesn't fit very well. So the dominant culture wants to say this is really good in this way, this is really good in that way. So and so can, you know, can sing this well, and so and so can, you know, this is right in this lane, and it's really good, you know, which is why there are so many cover songs. But Jesus on the Mainline doesn't fit those, and you know, most everything here doesn't fit that. But that record is a comfortable record. It has depth, and it has approachability right out of the gate. It's something you can pop on when you're making breakfast and enjoy, and it's something you can sit down later and, you know, get in deep and think about it, and it can relate to your life. And that is the beauty. One of my favorite. I mean, I don't know genre, right? So the band is my favorite band of all time. You know, and it's not even a question.
All 16 of them.
Huh?
All 16 of them.
No, I'm talking about the band.
Oh, okay.
Rick Danko, Levon, and Helm. Right, back in the day. My favorite record is The Basement Tapes, Bob Dylan Band, right? So, you know, there's a certain, there's a heritage in the United States of folk music, and then there's folk music kind of plugged into carnival music, plugged into rock and roll, that is like the band, and everything after from, you know, you can go Kurt Cobain, you can go Tom Petty, you can talk about Johnny Cash, all that is influenced by that, affected by that. But here is somebody who has approached that genre and that style, who respects everything from American folkways all the way through to the band, but is doing it from a jazz perspective with a 16-piece band.
Yeah.
Right? So they're getting every note right. So what they've proven in a lot of ways to me is that it is high art. And you don't have to just be a garage band in order, or some sort of raw, unpolished thing, in order to make those kind of great songs. And it's a beautiful record, and I think it's the most underrated in its genre for everything that we put out this year.
I like that.
And I've talked too much, please.
No, I think the name is really cool.
Jesus on the Mainline? Well, that's a tradition, you know. There's a lot of songs. You got to Google that.
It's true.
Google Jesus on the Mainline. Just make sure you get the whole phrase in there.
And I think that, you know,
a lot of results for just Jesus.
And the people, you know, again, one of the I think the anchors that Ropeadope has is the quality of human beings that are on this label, and Andrew and Tim. I've only got to meet you know those guys, but I mean, first class all the way.
You don't even have. I mean, we'll meet the rest, but if they work with those guys,
you know they're good. I got one more, I think.
One more? Is it one each?
One each.
We're running out of time.
Yeah. We're. I'll make it quick. So Terrace Martin, the Polyseeds. Sounds of Crenshaw, Volume 1. For me, again in no order, but was one of the albums that really stuck out, just because of Terrace's ability to assemble a monster cast of amazing artists and musicians, and to command them to be able to, you know, perform and play at the highest levels. You know, Rose Gold, you know, Wyan Vaughn, Chachi, the whole cast. Trevor on there. Just a really done, very well produced album. You know, and Terrace, it wasn't, you know, Terrace and the Polyseeds. You know, he allowed that whole entire group to really shine on their own, and you know, make some great songs, and yeah, you know, the Polyseeds.
Your favorite track from that album?
Man,
is it the hit? Is it Intentions?
I like Intentions. Is that my favorite track?
There's a track that didn't make it to that. Do you remember that?
Oh, can I say it?
No.
That was a good track, though.
It's a great track.
That was a good
We might
track.
see that track reappear. You can say it.
The Janet Jackson joint, right?
Is it Janet Jackson?
Yeah.
Takeaway? Is that what it's called?
I think it was.
No, it's not Janet Jackson.
No?
It's is it a Missy?
Oh,
Elliott
Missy,
song?
the Missy.
It might be Missy Elliott song. Never made it to the record. We play it here in the fake office all the time.
Yeah, I think Intentions was it's like that summer hit. I'll stick with Intentions.
Yeah?
I'll stick with that.
All right. I got one more.
You do?
It's got a U in it, but I'm stumped.
Three letters.
All right, so I got it, obviously. Years ago, when I first started working with Ropeadope in the music side, there was a point where we just started releasing digital records, and meaning they were just online. There weren't any physical records, and it was going to be a different kind of vibe, which is a step in the transition to where we are today.
Right.
And we released a record from this two brothers in northern England. I don't really want to say northern England. It's actually between Manchester and London. Aaron Dalton and Mike Dalton, and the band is called Hugh, H-U-W. There's the Hugh. It was kind of studio produced electronic, but it just had a groove, we were talking about it earlier, and I think what I said was that, it's very easy to look at someone from New Orleans or someone from Chicago or wherever who's lived a life and been a part of the music and plays that music, but it's a lot harder for someone from a different place to kind of be authentic in that space, and partly because if they're trying too hard to be authentic in that space, then they look ridiculous. Aaron Dalton has released 4 records with us. This was the 4th that came out this year. It was called Music from the Multiverse, which is another couple of U's. And I'm going to pause while we flip the record, and I love it.
Thank Montez.
There's the vinyl. We should do this every show. Just flip the vinyl. It's coming in hot, though, as we said. All right? Colonel Bruce dropping into some James Brown. There's just a certain groove that's not trying to be a groove. It's not trying to be anything but the music that he perceives and he creates. Electronic and organic.
Yep.
And man, he put some vocals on with I want to say the track's my favorite track on the record is the opening track, and it features Jude's wonderful vocals, and you can tell it's far away from the root, but you can feel the root the entire time.
That has that bass clarinet on that track.
Bass clarinet?
Yeah, that's,
is that how it's done? Like,
yeah, that's like it's like you're expecting a bass line, but it's a bass clarinet, and it's just so good.
But there's something about the off timing of it. There's something,
Yeah.
It's like it swings.
Man.
It swings.
It's
So
the magic.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that one just way up on the list. That's my personal favorite that I've been listening to for a long time.
Well, so we're coming at the end of time, but
How much we got?
We're at 24.
All right, we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna talk about 2018.
Yeah, that was my question. So, we talk a lot off camera about what's coming down the pipeline and the ideas and where we want to go. And I know we don't want to let everything out, but what are some things that people can expect to find in 2018? In addition to some great, amazing, music, what's coming down the pipeline?
It's funny because I have the same anticipation coming into, and I think we both do, we all do here at Ropeadope right now, coming into 2018 as we did in 2017. It's like, we have some things left. We have a lot of stuff lined up, and things are growing, and how good is it all going to be, And of course, we're coming off 2017 with 65 to 70 slamming records, right?
Amazing, yep.
So, but the way I see it right now is everything's broadening a little bit. There's going to be some different genres. It's hard to know which ones are going to be the gems. I tend to think we might be sitting here in a year going, wow, that was amazing. They were all freaking gems. But started off Todd Clouser with John Medeski. John Medeski, founder of Ropeadope, producer of The Word,
yep.
And the Campbell Brothers. And then I think there are probably already 30 to 35 records queued up. Highlights. They're all highlights. It's hard to say. I'll throw out there Mike Clark, one of the most sampled drummers and greatest drummers in history, and a dynamite dude. We've got some stuff coming up from Atlanta Records, Molly Tentarelli, and a couple of interesting surprises.
Escapers coming out.
Escaper, Will Hansa, these guys are on fire. We've got stuff from Chuck Lichtenberger. Talk about Asheville. Don't drive in Asheville.
I gotta listen to that track.
Too numerous to mention, but I would say that surprises are going to be the name of the game. You know, there's going to be some things, and people are going to look at Ropeadope and go, "What? Why are they?" You know, and then it's all going to make sense. I'll just leave it at that. How's that?
I was gonna add a joke, but I'm gonna keep that joke. It's in my head.
Okay. Save it for another episode. What are you looking forward to most?
In 2018, collaboration with people that are part of Ropeadope and people who aren't a part of Ropeadope. I'm excited about the growth of this room and bringing in artists to perform.
Yes.
I'm excited about you sitting down and speaking with people in the industry. You had mentioned before, brick by brick, the different segments of what this is going to be evolving to.
We didn't even discuss that. So we're going to do more TV shows. We're going to do more YouTube shows. We're going to have 21 Soul, which is going to interview other artists. We're looking at getting people in here. Possibly Ronald Brewer Jr. will be the first guest, and many more to interview. And I'm going to be doing record reviews. And we're talking about brick by brick, where I'm going to interview interesting individuals. Sort of a reverse field recording. We want to hear the stories. We have the music. We want to hear the personal stories of humans on planet Earth.
That's
in the
great.
21st century. And that's it.
That's it.
That's enough. All right.
That's 2017 done. We're done.
We still got work to do. We got 10 more days. All right. Thank you. Tune in. Check the credits. We'll be back.
Thanks, fellas.